So earlier today was broke that Cliff Bleszinski of Gears of War fame was coming out of retirement and making a new game with his freshly minted company, Boss Key Productions, and publisher Nexon. The new game is a free-to-play first-person shooter with most likely a sci-fi setting, and the title, BlueStreak. Cliff took to Reddit to give players their first glimpse of what Project BlueStreak, a nod to an old Transformer and not the beloved Martin Lawrence flick, will offer to fans. This video here is to break down what Cliff answered and did not answer, and try to piece together what his new game will look like. Obvious, quick note, the gameplay footage playing is not from the game. There is no trailer, no screenshots, no nothing. This is Gears of War 3, and also I'll be answering these questions just the way Cliff answered them, so it's not me saying I'm doing this, it's Cliff. That's pretty obvious. Let's start. Microtransaction plans. The number one question that comes up in free-to-play every time. Honest answer, I'm sure, and it's entirely too easy to tell or make the call. Free-to-play is one of those genres that means something entirely different depending on the game. For every model that feels like Las Vegas methods like Zynga and Candy Crush, there's folks who do it right like League of Legends or Warframe. I've never shipped a free-to-play game before. That's one of the many reasons why we're going with Nexon. They can provide server structures and a global peek into gamers of all types and guide us into the game that's more shut up and take my money as opposed to shaking you down for your hard-earned cash. So we'll experiment, tweak, tune, and most importantly build a positive community around the game as we develop it. Hey Cliff, thanks for doing the Ask Me Anything. I wanted to ask, what's your thought process behind video game design? In other words, key things that come to your mind when you're working on building a game that you want players to enjoy. Everything I've consumed throughout my entire life is grist for the mill. Having nearly 2 years off and plenty of time to sit by the pool and be happily married with my beer gut has allowed me to read a lot, and from reading some great sci-fi, or by watching a movie or reading a graphic novel, it goes into the hopper, is ground up, and sometimes you get a motherfucking chainsaw gun. I have many ideas for new weapons for BlueStreak, and I can't wait to get back to the magic of pitching it to a coder or working with a concept artist to make it come to life. What engine will you be using? My former employees and old coworkers seem pretty excited about our considering Unreal Engine 4. It's wide open right now with what tech we'd use. As I build my team, I need to take into account each department, engineering, art, level design, online, and of course cost. Being a lean startup, we've got to keep our eye on our burn rate and expenses. Will Martin Lawrence be reprising his role for your game? With the internet and its goofy sense of humor, I might have to stunt cast him as a voice role because we're in a world where potato salad Kickstarters can make thousands of dollars. User-generated content. My COO and I are huge fans of this sort of thing. On the PC, it's easier than ever to have this sort of thing. Let's just say we would need to walk before we run in this department. We need to make a great game with a community around it, sort of people who want to spend a dime on it, and then figure out how to get to user-made arenas at a minimum. What made you want to go with a free-to-play route? This comes from a fan, not Cliff himself. I'm not Cliff, just bared thinking about it too, so commenting on you. I guess Cliff sees in arena shooters the competitiveness that MOBAs have today, and he's chasing us to review the arena FPS as we know to the seamless skill-ranked matchmaking system suit like League of Legends presents us. Cliff says this. You interested in BlueStreak being an esport at all? Of course, but you can't just make it an esport. It's like trying to force a meme. It just doesn't work that way. You make an airtight game first with a rock-solid community, and maybe, just maybe, you can make that leap. How does your time away from the industry affect your outlook on game design? Yeah, it made me almost bitter about scripted games, honestly. All the time and effort that goes into yielding only one YouTube video. That's why I now believe there's a direct correlation between how good your game is and how many unique YouTube videos that it can yield. Maybe amazing competitive matches or fantastic things users have built themselves, or even a crazy physics bug that was caught on a live stream. The YouTubers have taken over, folks. How did you choose to making a first-person shooter over a third-person shooter? From my casual research online and offline, I generally have found that third-person shooters players will often play first-person shooters. Many first-person players won't play third. It's a weird thing. Plus, I miss the down-the-barrel view and the flow of first-person. Yo, Cliff & Co., what will you do in order to set BlueStreak apart from the over and over saturated market of shooters? There's still plenty that can be done in regards to environmental manipulation, weaponry, and player movement in the FPS space. Titanfall tapped into some of the things that excite me in this area: wall running, double jumping, and the smart pistol. The mech absorb bullets and fire them back at people. That kind of thing is just what the FPS market needs. Less damn red dot iron sights. What about the free-to-play model made it an attractive venture for you? Anyone could just jump in and play your damn game. I'm determined to not do pay to win. Since this game is a shooter, I want that one player who likes the game and doesn't feel like spending any money to be able to take down the thrust of the fun kid that spent a ton of money to have all that stuff. Will there be a big emphasis on story? There will be an emphasis on story, but not in the traditional sense. Weapons will have manufacturing corporations, players will have lore and history, and the world will feel there and lived in. We also want to make live-action shorts quarterly to help tell more about the universe outside the game. If you're doing a sci-fi IP, you need as much of the fiction to come through in other mediums, and with lore, so people can care about Plasma Rifle 3 or Player X. How far off is the BlueStreak release? A fair ways off, it's safe to say, because we just got office space and furniture and we're doing our initial round of hires. It'll be a slow burn for the first year, but we promise to show you as much as humanly possible in the process. So there's the scoop on BlueStreak. Be sure to stay tuned here for more from us at Attack Gaming on BlueStreak and every other game ever. See ya.